Okay, so now it's Inkscape, and that's as important as Fusion in the sense of creating objects, because for laser cutting, this is the go-to tool to laser cut anything. That's every time I open up Inkscape, it's straight away gonna give us an A4 paper. This is an A4 size workspace. It's not an object I can move or delete. It's a workspace. So here I can hold in control and zoom in and out. Should be able to do that, but there's something. I think the blue jeans is interfering with it. Any case, you can hold in control. I can't right now, but and then you can zoom in and out, or you can use these tools for it. There we go. Okay, so the most important tool in Inkscape is your selection. As soon as I create an object, I want to be sure to not try to move it with my other object, and then I'll just start creating more objects, and then it's just gonna be confusing. So when I create an object, I always go to selection, because here I can either move it. Okay, this isn't great. I think okay. I just had another document open and it was interfering. So with control, okay, I can do that. Nope. Okay, this is I need to stop. Yeah. Fine. So I'm having just a little glitch now. That's probably because of the share screen or something, that I'm able to select sometimes and sometimes not. But that won't happen to you, shouldn't. So I can select this object, and I can also use my keyboard and move it. If I hold down left, hold down right, I can move it. Most important is that I want to be able to put a correct size. Always be sure to use the correct millimeter sizes. This is a problem number one for many people. They have it in pixels, and then they're gonna make a 100 times 100 millimeter big piece, but that's not correct because here it's 26 millimeters. So always be sure millimeters, 100, 100. All right. So here I can move this object. I can work with it and cut out of it. So if I make two objects, and always work with fill and stroke when you're working with different shapes, and change the colors while you're working. So now I'm very much sure what which one of these are. So I'm gonna make a few of these. The reason is because a very comfortable tool in Inkscape to make different designs is path, all these options here. And you can see I made a box and a circle because these icons here show you what's going to happen. So for union, I can choose this one, path, union. Now it's a single object. Jesus. Okay. And then for this one, I can go path, difference, it cuts out. For this one, it's intersection. So the only piece left should be this one. And for this one, path, division, or exclusion, it's going to be the opposite of this one. And then there are two more options. Division, it will cut up the pieces. It will either cut path or cut it up and give you different shapes. Then I can work with this one and say, I do want these pieces like this, but I do want to separate them. They're stuck together because it's a single object. But if I want to break them apart, I go to Path and Break Apart. And now I'm able to choose this one and move it as I please. Same as if I want to reconnect them, as in I'm gonna move this one here, and I'm gonna reconnect them. Path, Combine. If I take the fill out and put a stroke, that it's not tiny, you can see it's connected, but it still will cut out the pieces. As in, if you want to laser cut this as a single piece, and all you look at is how it looks here. Okay, this isn't great. Okay. Okay, I'm having a little glitch again. Yeah, this is just this is not helping. Path, Break Apart, and then Path, Union. This would be the more correct way to be able to cut this as a single piece. And always before we laser cut, it is good to think about the dimensions. So if a workspace is this big as an A4, we always want to change the file document properties. Then we'll get this dialog menu. Maybe it pops up here. But we always have to be sure that this is also not pixels, this is millimeters. And for my laser machine, it's 600 by 450. For some, it's by 30. But I'm going to do mine, which is 600 millimeters by 450 millimeters. So this is a whole sheet in the laser. Very important thing when we are working with laser cutting is that we always put it up in the corner of the workspace. If we have it somewhere else, it's gonna start cutting, and it's just a waste of material and so on. In this now it's still not gonna cut because I always have to do fill, no fill, stroke, flat color in stroke, and then stroke style 0.02. And then it's gonna look like it disappeared, but it hasn't because it's just a really small lines, 0.02. And then if we want to put it in the laser machine, we can save it as a PDF. Laser cutting, save as PDF, save. Be sure to use document page size if you have correctly put it up in the corner. If we have many objects like this one, and I'm gonna see if I can, whatever. I'm gonna go view, display mode, and outline to see all my objects. If I save this as PDF as a exported object size, here, I will be able to save it, go here, desktop, and find object size. Let's just open it up here. And here you see that instead of saving my single circle up in the corner of my workspace, it saved everything that's in my document. So it's fine to work outside of your work area, but when you save a PDF, just try to make a correct size of work plane. If it's a full sheet, you can make it smaller, but be sure to save it as a full as a document page size, not as the object page size, because then this will be the page. Also, strong tool for this. When you're making the finger joints, it's always going to be nice to make it all from scratch. I wouldn't recommend it in Inkscape. It's can be nice in Fusion, since Hafliði will put a link into our shared document where we're showing parametric design. So parametric design is you change one, same as the timeline, you change one setting, how long the finger joints are supposed to be, and then it's all gonna go, it's all gonna work, all gonna, change correctly for that. But one thing I wanna show you is that for laser cutting, we want to be sure to play around with the tools that we have an option. For instance, I like to use Maker Case. This is like a kind of a cheat way of, I wouldn't call it cheat way, but it's a quick way to make laser cut boxes. And they just updated the website, so it doesn't just have to be a box. We can make polygon boxes of any number 3 or more sides, or we can get a nice kerf bent box straight away. So if I just go here, download box plans, we can get our box designs straight away. Same as here, polygon, sides 8. Hopefully it's gonna give me the, yeah. So it changes to the correct size and gives us the box plans, and then we can put some added designs to it. Yeah, so that's a nice way to, when you get the box plans, you're gonna get a PDF, and then you can open the PDF in Inkscape to change both. You can choose. So here we have, no, actually a SVG at the example. So we actually get a straight away an Inkscape file. So just download SVG, save, go here, go in the folder, double click, it's gonna open in Inkscape. There it pops up. There you go. And then we can work with it more. It's always gonna come as grouped. So when you want to move it, it's always gonna move together. So just be sure to go and object, ungroup once. You don't want to ungroup it too many times. Maybe you can, but we don't want all the sides to get loose. So here I can delete the sides and options, and then I can put some other designs on this. For instance, I can cut a hole in it if my program would allow. I think this might help. I get why this was happening. Yeah, so we can do here, I want to cut a circle. Yep, this is great. To cut a circle out of the middle of this one, so I choose both, and then I go to Object, Align, and here we have a different option of aligning to the middle. Yeah, it is listening to me sometimes. There we go. This is weirdly annoying. Page. There we go. So aligned it to the page. We can select where we want to align objects. We can also select different ways of aligning. For instance, now it's on the right side of the box, because you can see the icon says the yellow object, the last selected, will go on the right side of this object. So if I go first selected, go here, first. yeah, it's a lot of things would happen for you, but since my Inkscape is glitching a bit, it's not great. But there's also different options. For instance, in objects, we can use in objects we have at the bottom align and arrange. Arrange is very nice also because I can arrange objects very simply. So if I choose only these ones and say I want these to arrange with a 1 millimeter gap, arrange. This is great. Right, I'm just gonna make a new yep, okay. You can select all of these and arrange. Alright, this is just glitching way too much for me, so I think it's a good time to, yeah,